weather radar information. Let's jump into it and get on the weather mobile. All right, there we go. Everything's working. Let's now we are going to dive into that weather radar, guys. So let's take a look here. We're going to zoom on in. Holy cow, the dryness and the fire hazards are absolutely spreading. Let's go in down here to Texas and New Mexico, places like Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma. My goodness, guys, look at this red. Look at this red. Amarillo, Roswell, Carlsbad, Plainview, Clovis, Albuquerque. Critical risk of fire danger. Let's read. Guys, central and southeastern New Mexico, Texas, Panhandle, northwest Oklahoma, a pronounced surface low south of a strong cold front will develop across the southern high plains Thursday, while a subtle mid-level shortwave ejects into the southern high plains by Thursday afternoon. Dry downslope favored flow with west to southwest winds of 15 to 25 miles an hour. Ahead of the advancing cold front will overlap with very low relative humidity of around 10% across much of eastern New Mexico and the Texas Panhandle into northwestern Oklahoma. In addition, record-breaking temperatures in the middle to upper 90s Fahrenheit will aid in rapid drying of finer fuels through the afternoon. Further south, digital single-digit relative humidity and downslope enhanced, albeit more localized winds of 15 to 20 miles an hour along the east of the Sacramento Mountains warranted a southward expansion of critical fire weather highlights into southeastern New Mexico. The cold front pushing south across the southern plains will bring an abrupt northerly wind shift to the region through early Friday, with potential impacts to existing wildfires or potential new ignitions. South central Kansas, a very dry boundary layer will be placed across southern Kansas before the cold front arrives by late Thursday afternoon. A cold front an impinging mid-level shortwave, along with some mid-level moisture, should support development of high base showers and thunderstorms across southern Kansas by late Thursday afternoon and evening. Minimal precipitation over a very receptive fuelscape preceded by likely record high temperatures near 100 degrees Fahrenheit should support a higher ignition efficiency across the area. Therefore, isolated dry thunderstorm highlights were introduced, with westward expansion into southwestern Kansas and even extreme northern Oklahoma potential needed in subsequent outlooks. Synopsis: the strongest upper level winds will persist within the northern tier states on Thursday. Some amplification of the upper ridge is expected in the west. Modest amplification of the upper trough over southeastern Canada is also expected. Cooler air will move into much of the Conus by Friday morning. Central New Mexico, Texas Panhandle, and northwestern Oklahoma, a cutoff low currently off the southern California coast, will move through the southwest Wednesday and reach the southern Rockies and High Plains by Thursday afternoon. This feature will not be overly strong, but will provide enhancement to the mid-level winds and help deepen a surface low in the high plains. This will promote 20 to 25 mile an hour surface winds, with very dry air remaining in the southwest and moving eastward. Localized single-digit relative humidity is possible. More broadly, 15 to 10 to 15 relative humidity can be expected. During the afternoon, sustained critical fire weather is most likely in these areas. Central Oklahoma into the Flint Hills. The exact degree of relative humidity reductions within these areas remains uncertain due to some moisture returning northward. However, mostly clear skies are expected and warming temperatures, likely in the 90s Fahrenheit, given the current frontal progression forecast, will support relative humidity values of 20 to 30%, with the low level jet centered over these regions. Winds of 15 to 25 miles an hour and stronger gusts will promote elevated to near critical fire weather conditions, even with what could be marginal relative humidity reductions. The cold front will eventually move southward, and strong gusty north winds will arrive in its wake. Timing of the front will be mid to late afternoon for Kansas, with overnight into Friday morning for Oklahoma. Western Kansas. Uncertainty in terms of the duration of fire weather concerns is largest in this area, with the surface trough remaining here the longest. Weaker winds are expected for at least part of the day ahead of the front. 15 to 20 mile an hour may occur. Stronger northerly winds are expected behind the front. As the front moves southward through Wednesday into Thursday, some air mass modification appears probable, and the temperature drops behind the front will be more gradual. This should allow for a secondary period of elevated to near critical fire weather during late afternoon, early evening. Eastern Great Basin into the southwest. Ahead of a cold front, surface winds will increase across the eastern Great Basin to 15 to 25 miles an hour, locally higher across the southwest. Weaker winds are expected due to the stronger mid-level winds displaced further north. There, only 15 mile an hour is anticipated. Elevated fire weather is forecast as fuels continue to dry. So be careful out there, guys. We also have some other weather concerns. Let's take a peek. Let's go to Nebraska. We got general thunderstorms. Let's view the outlook. Nebraska synopsis. Relatively dry and stable conditions will be present over most of the CONUS today, but with several small areas of some concern for thunderstorms. These include the Pacific Northwest and Northern Plains and mid-upper Mississippi Valley in Florida. Florida. A weak surface front lies across central Florida peninsula with strong heating and dew points in the 60s, leading to moderate afternoon Cape. Similar to yesterday, scattered thunderstorms are expected along the east coast, sea breeze, and along south of the front. Winds aloft are weak, but cool temperatures aloft could be sufficient for a strong storm or two capable of hail or gusty wind. The overall threat appears to be low to warrant severe probabilities at this time. Illinois and Indiana. Visible satellite imagery shows a zone of weak, low-level warm advection over Iowa, spreading eastward into Illinois. Several model solutions suggest the risk of some lightning activity this afternoon in this region, although it appears to be rooted in the mid-levels and unlikely to produce any severe risk. After dark, more active thunderstorms may develop over eastern Illinois and much of Indiana, but weak instability will continue to limit any organized severe threat. All right. So, we got that. We got some snow up in the what do you call those? The Montana and North Dakota. Let's read this. No changes are needed to the D1 convective outlook. See previous discussion for more information. Relatively dry and stable conditions will be present over most of the continent. I already read that. Florida. Okay. So I think we've read all the discussion, guys. So we're set there. Now let's look at the active radar. Let's go radar. Let's go national. There we go. And I need to get rid of all these watches, all these watch areas, the fire watch, etc., etc. So we're going to try to get rid of fire weather over. There we go. Let's take that away. And let's take away the thunderstorm. We got severe weather. Let's take away our day 1. There we go. And let's take away our winter weather. Outlook. There we go. Now we're just left with the radar. Let's take a look at what's happening out there. Let's go to the northwest. Seattle. Down Portland. Looks like the Cascade Range getting hammered with rain and snow. Some scattered spotty stuff off the coast. Not bad. Then you go further inland. Few showers out there in the desert area. Once you get into the, the deserts of Oregon and Washington State. Then, as we move into the Bitterroot, we got some showers out there. South of Missoula. Very nice. And then we got those thunderstorms that are scattered in North Dakota. Very nice. Dickinson. East of Billings. Just kind of scattered out there. Then what do we got? We got a few showers, spotty around from Manitoba, Winnipeg to, I don't know, what do we got? The Voyageurs National Park. Then you go into Illinois and Indiana. That's where they were talking about some lightning and some thunder, but nothing too crazy. Between Indianapolis and Davenport, basically, Iowa. And then you move into New York, and they've been dealing with some spotty, scattered showers and stuff out there. Between Baltimore and Montpelier, Sherbrooke, Montreal. Very nice. Let's go down to Florida. Those look like a little more intense. Down here by Tampa, Punta Gorda, Fort Myers, and then off the coast. So I'm sure there's some good wave action there. Up between Brunswick, Georgia, and probably Port St. Lucie. Probably some good wave action out there. Very dry in Texas and New Mexico and Kansas. And that's pretty much it. It's kind of a chilled day. I would say fire weather is the big concern. And then if you're trying to, drive in the mountains around Seattle and Portland, they're getting some snow in the higher elevations. So anyway, guys, let's run over to Hawaii quick. I know they had a lot of flooding recently. Let's see. Let me take a look. I'm going to go radar. I'm going to go single site. I'm going to go to the northernmost radar. Looks pretty decent. A few showers off the coast right now. Going to go to the Big Island. Let's see what we got down there. A few showers hanging around still. I'm going to go to the furthest south. Few showers off the coast. So that looks promising. that they're drying out a little bit. Let's run up to Alaska. We'll go somewhere around Anchorage. See how they're holding up. Don't see much in the way there. Let's go off the coast. Few showers out here in the Gulf of Alaska. Nothing crazy. Let's go way far away. Nothing happening there. Fairbanks. Not much. Let's go out towards Nome. Don't see anything. Let's go up into Canada. Let's go as far north as we can by Fort McMurray. Don't see much there. Let's go Edmonton. Don't see much there. Calgary. Don't see much there. Let's go Winnipeg. A little bit north of Winnipeg. Let's go further east. Looking good. Let's go Thunder Bay. Looking good. Let's go over to Toronto. Looks like some scattered stuff out there. Ottawa. Oh yeah, Ottawa's where you hit the money between Toronto and Ottawa. Let's go up to Quebec. Pretty good up there. Let's go to Newfoundland. Few showers out there by Corner Brook and Gross Mourning National Park. Let's go St. John's. Few showers out there. Nice. All right, guys. Well, that's pretty much all I got today. Hope everybody's nice and safe and dry and warm, but not too warm. Let's keep it a nice 72 degrees. And we will see you on the